Welcome to this week's Transformers review. But before we introduce our character and our special guest host, let me take out the time to say Happy Women's Month to all y'all ladies out there, all y'all hardworking ladies out there, whether you're a mother or you're in the educational field, food service, military, doesn't matter. If you're doing your thing, you keep on rocking. But this week we're going to start out with the first time ever toy version of Erial from season 2's episode War Dawn, and more on that later. But before we get to Erial, we're going to do our shout outs of the week. First, we're going to shout out Back to the Media on Loudon Street there in the Walking Mall, where you get all your video game needs, going from us old heads with the Atari all the way up to current systems, all the games that go for each console. You could also get CDs, DVDs, records, cassette tapes. And for y'all old heads, they got the cassette tapes for the radio and the VHS tapes. You know, us old heads remember that. All y'all youngins don't know anything about that. But hey, it's all good in the hood. And if you can't find what you're looking for at Back to the Media, you can go right directly across the street to Time Traveler Toys and Collectibles, where you get all your He-Man, Transformers, G.I. Joe, She-Ra, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Thundercats, you name it, they got it over there. Even the Super 7 stuff and the vintage stuff that people like me grew up on. So definitely go ahead and check them out. And when you go in, tell Charles that Mark sent you, tell him Cobra Island sent you. And if you leave there, you're interested in getting your comic book It Scratched, go to 80 Weems Lane over to 4-Color Fantasies, and you get all your DC, Marvel, Image, Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, Iron Man stuff. I'll get all your comic books needs met. You can also get back issues and current titles. Sorry about that, little cut fell. But yeah, I'm still noisy on this channel. We make a lot of noise. But then if you know the island, and if you know long time for this island, we bring the noise.
Go.
And but definitely go to 4-Color Fantasies for all your comic book needs. And if you're interested and you're hungry and you want some good Jamaican food, let me suggest going to Tropical Island on Piccadilly Street, across the street from Henley Library. Go and see Lloyd and his wonderful staff. Get some good Jamaican food. Get yourself some good Jamaican music in the background, some good conversation.
It eats.
And whatnot. So definitely check out Tropical Islands. But if you're looking for a bank, may I suggest going to Bank of Clark or United Bank. Both of them got good customer service, good banking needs, all that kind of good stuff. So definitely check them out. And Cobra Island is a proud sponsor of mental health awareness. So if you're looking for a good counselor to go to, may I suggest going to 133 West Pascagoula Street, suite number 10, and seeing Mr. Robert C. Brown and at Healing Grace Counseling Services. He's a good listener, and I'm not saying it because I'm prejudiced, because he's a good friend. Been a friend for over 17 years. I'm saying it because, he's a good listener. He gets good sound advice. He's just an all-around good dude. But if Rob doesn't have is not offering what you're looking for, may I suggest Northwestern Community Services, where you can get peer group counseling, psychiatry. They even got a in-house pharmacy, if you need it. So definitely check them out. If you're looking for getting that unsightly tree removed, that unsightly stump out of your yard, may suggest Mixed Tree Service. Go ahead and look him up, give him a call. He'll handle all your tree care needs. And for our national shout-outs, if you're looking for renters insurance, homeowners insurance, boat insurance, car insurance, all that stuff, go to State Farm. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And if you call them, you might get lucky and talk to Jake and tell him that I said what's up. And our last shout-out of the week is for sheets. If you're looking for a good place to get your tank full as well as your belly full, definitely go into Sheets. You get their fresh made-to-order subs, salads, sliders, burgers, chicken sandwiches, a lot of good snacks at the same time. So you get your gas tank full at the same time you get your belly full. So go ahead, go for it. And speaking of Sheets, let me give a little shout-out to my friend Veronica at the Sheets on Valley Avenue. What's up, girl? Keep you doing your work. But also being that that's it for our Saturdays of the week. So also before we get to Ariel, being that it's Women's Month, I have a very special guest host, and she's actually a I guess it's a financial consultant, I think, or financial accountant,
And now I'm a substitute teacher.
or a substitute teacher in a private Christian academy. So let me introduce you a good friend of mine that's been happened to be friends just as long as I've been friends with Rob, which just happens to be his wonderful wife, Stephanie Brown. So say hi to the island there.
Hey, big shout out from Winchester, Virginia. And I want to thank Mark for having me on, and I'm honored to be here for Women's Month.
Yeah, thank you for being accepting the offer. So the invitation, because I always wanted to do something where to being at March is Women's Month, I always wanted to get out there to give y'all ladies recognition for all the hard work you guys do, on a daily basis.
Right, it's a lot, working full time and keeping a house and keeping all those relationships going. So
right.
Got it. Yep.
And so let's go ahead and do our first lady of the month.
All right, looking forward to it.
In Erial. And before we get to Ariel, let's take a look at the only accessories she comes with this little silver laser blaster with the little pink handle. So I think it's kind of uniquely molded, I think. It's got that silver plastic. I just hope it doesn't suffer from the silver plastic syndrome of being brittle. But it's good detailed. I still haven't understand what the roll bar on the top's for. It is what it is. If you want to check it out, give your thoughts on it.
I do. I'm kind of wondering why, in the show they don't show her with this that much. She doesn't seem like to be more of an offensive type of transformer.
Yeah, she was. But her character in that episode, the only episode she was in, she was more of one of the dock workers with Orion Pax and Dion, and I always remember that line that Dion says when he's talking to the Arial bots. Hey, leave her alone. This is my girl. But
more of a supporting role, perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay.
But more on basing on her character here in the afterwards. But of course, she's got that little pink and white girly motorcycle thing going on.
I'm taking that.
I mean, she's got to say it, but it's basically casted in the same mold that RC was, and Road Rocket that I did last year for Women's Month. But instead of but she's got the pink and white thing going on. Of course, she can roll like all cyber-training motorcycles are supposed to do. And of course, you got the little ports right here and by her back tire on both sides. Plus on the top back seat, so you could basically use her pistol where she can carry it, one of these two holes in the side, give her some firepower in motorcycle mode, which I think these are actually, the Transformers now are a lot better because you get weapon storage. So she could carry around her blaster and not have to be in robot mode to have it. But basically.
An active kickstand.
Yeah, active kickstand right there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty sick adaptation. Tires roll, and of course, they had to give it the girly touch by giving her pink tires.
Yeah.
But hey, definitely, and of course, you got visible calf syndrome with behind the cage. You got visible head syndrome. Which me and Stephanie was talking earlier. I kind of, when I'm looking under cars and motorcycles, I want to see undercarriage with engine parts. I ain't trying to, it'll worry me if I see a robot underneath it. Especially one that carries laser blasters.
Right.
Right. It'd be like this motorcycle of doom.
How many motorcycles are out there in the Transformer world? Any idea?
Well, I know with the modern line going from the War for Cybertron Netflix series, the live action movies, it was always primarily the females that were motorcycles.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah. Yeah.
So pretty much if you was a female in the Transformers live action or the modern cartoons, if you were a female, you had a motorcycle mode. You was automatically a motorcycle, like a Japanese Yamaha. Except for the Junkions from the 1986 movie and season 3, where you got the Junkions that are like junky motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
It's
pretty
easy
much,
access there.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's pretty good access. You know, I agree with you on that one. But you got any thoughts on vehicle mode?
No, no. I think it's overall aerodynamic, and you just got to love the pink and white.
Yeah, the pink and white will work.
And Ariel, Ariel's a very popular name.
Yeah.
The mermaid and everything.
Right, and especially when they came out with this one, they wanted to do a keep away from the trademark issues. They don't want. So if it would be an Ariel with an A, it's actually Ariel with an E.
Okay.
you know,
you
so
gotta do that. Play it safe.
Play it safe. Good play, Hasbro. Good play.
Yep.
But let's go ahead. We got the motorcycle mode out of the way. Let's go ahead and look at her robot mode.
Awesome.
And here we are, as in Ariel with her robot mode. And of course, I remember a conversation me and Stephanie had back in a couple months ago. She actually has a ponytail because we were talking about Override. I did a while back where she didn't look like a woman. I look like a woman transformer.
Mm-hmm.
Even though her character is a female.
Mm-hmm.
But this one has a ponytail.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And of course, her articulation, her head can go do the whole 360. Her ponytail can remove, which I don't know why you want to remove her ponytail. Arm motion, got good range of arm motions on her ball joint. She's got a lot of range of motions on her arms. And of course, her forearms can shift up due to transformation. She does have the movable abdominal region due to transformation. Of course, legs also on the ball joint, so they got good range of motion. She could be a cheerleader due to full splits.
Nice.
Kick somebody forward. She could kick them in the back. Do good back motion. And of course, her her bottom half of her abdomen does not want to stay on.
I noticed that all the tires split.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Which is pretty cool for robot mode.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do that here in a minute. But as you can tell, let me go ahead and get her in
put that back on.
Put her ponytail back on.
Yes, there you go.
She's got to look like a lady.
Yes, there you go.
And of course, I like you still see the whole pink and white thing on.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there she is with her blaster. So she could get a whole lot of blue bloom and blang bang and shooting them all up.
Forward.
And it does got a little port. I didn't bring any blues blast effects, but she does have that port in the front of her cannon, which does make her blues compatible. She'll get a whole lot of Arial pink and white bloosh, like Emgo would say. So what do you think of her in her robot mode?
I think she's rather petite, and I like that they have some different pinks going on here.
Yeah, I like the multiple shades of pink.
Yeah, and that she still looks tough, but she looks feminine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's funny how this character, and like I was mentioning earlier with her episode in War Dawn, she was a female dock worker alongside of Orion Pax and Dion. But she actually came as a 2-pack with Dion in the War Dawn 2-pack, as I mentioned in my review of Dion, where Dion was Orion's best friend and Ariel was the girlfriend. And if y'all remember that Autobot episode of War Dawn, and for those who watch my Monday cartoon reviews, you're going to get an early spoiler before I review this episode of War Dawn. But she actually goes off and she gets mortally wounded, where we all know Orion Pax becomes Optimus Prime, but Ariel becomes Elita 1. To carry on the relationship with her and Optimus.
Nice.
So it tended to work out. I mean, I wish they could have done something with Dion. But I mean, it's left on such a cliffhanger. You know, rumor has it that they just left Dion for dead in the warehouse. And then there's also rumors that he became Ultra Magnus, Ironhide, Ratchet. I mean, it's just so many rumors going around. So it's when you're playing with them, you know, because I've always been one where toys are not to be kept in the package, shoved in a box, hidden in an attic. You know, they're supposed to be out of the package, like the whole Toy Story thing.
Right.
They're meant to be played with. You know, you know, it's a big part of why they were made, to be played with, not kept in a box, held up in another box in somebody's attic. You know, so you could have your own Dion become whoever you want. You know, so you could even have Optimus Prime and Orion Pax and Erial and Elita 1 be two separate characters. You know, in your playtime. It's your toy. You do it to whatever you want.
When did you say this came out? Erial came out?
She came out, this figure actually came out last year. I had it on pre-order last year. And but her episode was somewhere in like late 85, early 96, which was before the Transformers animated movie, which I will be reviewing at some point in 2025, which I think out of all the animated cartoons from back in the 80s, Transformers, the animated movie, was the best one. And you're hearing that from a G.I. Joe freak. But Transformers was a better movie, you know, because they actually show what war really is, you know, how war has consequences, and you know, people and machines, when during any kind of military conflict, people and machines die.
Right.
You know, they're not shot with a laser in the shoulder and come back the next episode, you know, come back at the end of the episode 100%. You know, so I knew Transformers wasn't BSing me as a kid. You know, they wouldn't try to pull the wool over my eyes with the whole military look, the whole military thing.
Right.
You know, there was fatalities. You know, and in that War Dawn episode, Erial actually died at the end of that episode, even though she was rebuilt and reprogrammed as Elita 1. But this particular character in that episode died. There was no more Erial after that.
Okay.
You know, and for them to come out in the Legacy line with Erial and Dion as a 2-pack with Alpha Trion and Orion Pax in another 2-pack.
Right.
You know, which actually brought that episode to life. So I got all 4 of them from those 2-packs, and I even got the all 5 of the Erial box. So I could recreate that episode anytime I want. You know, with the figures.
Right.
You know, but it's good to have to see that they're actually doing female Transformers more than they did in the vintage line. You know, because the first vintage Transformer from Generation 1 was RC. You know, and then seeing RC, you know, and then they actually coming out with Elita 1 and Erial and all the other Chromia and Firestar and all the other females. I'm glad to see the females are actually taking their shine in a boys' toy line.
I agree.
You know, and because I know a lot of people was like, oh, women in the toy, boy ain't gonna play with girl toys and girl figures. I was always one of the ones when they introduced a new female G.I. Joe, I went out and bought it.
Awesome. I was wondering,
you know,
how Erial looks, that she would grab probably a lot of attention for the girls back in the mid 80s.
Yeah, I mean, because Transformers was universal. I knew a lot of guys that watched it. I knew a lot of girls that watched it. You know,
I did.
I mean, the cartoons was, in my opinion, the cartoons more better than the live action movies, in my opinion. But live action movies are pretty good. You know, so that says a lot.
It does.
And I even got into the War for Cybertron trilogy, you know, on Netflix. You know, that was a good trilogy. You know, and I suggest anybody to watch any form of the Transformers media. You know, and I'm actually getting into collecting now the Shattered Glass collection. You know, I already got Shattered Glass Gold Bug that I did on this channel. I'm having future plans getting Shattered Glass Megatron, Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, Shattered Glass Jetfire. You know, get all the Shattered Glass versions. You know, so I'm picking up everything Transformers so I can get my hands on it as long as I can get it. But any last thoughts from you, Steph, before we end up?
I think you covered it real well.
Well, and this will be the end of Erial for this week. Tune in next week as we do Elita 1 and continuing Women's Month. I might be late on my G.I. Joe review. I'm waiting on some stuff to come in. So I might be a little late on my G.I. Joe stuff. But if not, I will see y'all tomorrow for Transformers Season 1, Episode 9. So I'll see y'all tomorrow for that. And as always for Cobra Island, until all are one. See you in the next one.